please welcome Mr. Troy Casey.
Thank you very much all for coming here today, and thank you, Luke. Luke was one of the first people to activate me in this company. What this company did for me is it gave me an outlet for the tremendous amount of energy that I had and the gifts that God had given me. And so the Amazon Herb Company represents that. And the reason I'm passionate about carrying this mission and vision is because I like to teach people about health. And of course, there's so many things that are happening on this planet right now, and we can't expect to see a healthy world, right? Everybody's interested in saving the planet, saving the oceans, and of course at the cornerstone of that is our own become the change you wish to see in the world, which Gandhi said, as above, so below, which is biblical. So how do we expect to see a healthy world if we are not ourselves healthy? And these plants have the ability to turn people on, get them healthy, get their minds clear so we can all start making decisions that are responsible for this planet that we live on. I started as attraction to this company because of health, because the nutrition that was available. And for 3 years, I went out there and shared this with everybody, not knowing anything about business. In the last year and a half, I've studied business. And what I've found out is entrepreneurs change the way we think, and they revolutionize the way we move forward and grow as a species to help us evolve. You know, Galileo helped educate people that the world, guess what, is not flat. Okay? Everybody can subscribe to that thought right now, right? We now know that the world is round. And so these are the type of elements with forward thinking. Then you've got Steve Jobs, you've got Bill Gates. These are people that come to the forefront of entrepreneurialism. Amazon John is also one of those people, and now I am. And the great thing is what you'll see with this company is you can very easily also become. My career in front of the camera has brought me money my whole entire life. Now my primary source of income comes from changing the planet and helping people. And so I'd like to share a few points on that. So welcome. We believe we are changing the course of history because the Amazon is the critical component of our species survival. A large portion of our oxygen, carbon release from trees being cut down. Also, half of all species on the planet are in the Amazon. And so the UN just declared this the year of biodiversity. It's coming out now that biodiversity is actually more important than climate change, climate, carbon footprint, all these things, which I believe that some of those elements have a political and economic agenda. The fact of the matter is respect and reverence for the earth. So let's go through what a green entrepreneur is, changing the course of history. So why become an entrepreneur? These are questions we want to ask ourselves. Entrepreneurs are their own bosses. They make the decisions. They choose whom to do business with and what work they will do. They decide what hours to work as well as what to pay and whether to take vacations. On the first year of my son's birth, we went on 7 vacations. How many people can raise their hands? It's been a little while since they've been at a vacation, or they have a corporate job and they get around to maybe 1 a year. We took 7 vacations, 2 to South America. I figured out how to get paid as a social butterfly because basically that's who I am. Becoming an entrepreneur gives you greater possibility of achieving significant financial rewards than working for someone else. I no longer am dependent upon another to pay me. I'm dependent on my own ability to go out and execute my own ideas. Entrepreneurship creates an opportunity for a person to make a contribution. Most people go and punch a clock, they drive in traffic for 2 hours a day up and down the 405, and they come home, they hate their job. And so this offers us to give a contribution to something we can align with that's something much bigger than ourselves. Most new entrepreneurs help the local economy. So it's a community-based element. And so a few, through their innovations, contribute to society as a whole. One example entrepreneur, of course, is Steve Jobs, who created Apple Computers, which, by the way, I am now my own movie studio because of Steve Jobs. right? I moved to California and Los Angeles about 12 years ago to start a career in film. I had to beg someone to get a little piece of film. I now can make my own film. Has anybody seen me on YouTube as a certified health nut? I've got 100 videos on health and consciousness. I merged my comedy background with my natural medicine background in a crocodile hunter mix between Tom Green style show. And so if you haven't seen it, flip it on and watch a few of them. They're made to, get a kick out of. So why become an entrepreneur? It's freedom. And what's more American than that, right? It's creative. And guess what? For all the people in LA, it's cool. Entrepreneurs, right? It's cool. Entrepreneurs will literally save the planet, right? And so, is becoming an entrepreneur right for you? So that's what you want to ask yourselves. Are you satisfied with your current job? Does your job pay you well for your performance? I waited tables for a while in between while I was acting, and I loved it because I could give it 100% and I would walk home with that amount of tips in my pocket. And so, but one thing I realized is I watched some of the other waiters that I worked at the Ivy, one of the top restaurants here in town, and the owners wanted to restructure the company. So they ended up firing like quite a few people that had worked 16, 20 years for the company. So basically, if they want to change something, they're in control of it. You're in control of your own destiny when you are your own entrepreneur. So, are you tired of being dependent on others for work? There's a lot of people out of work right now, and they've got their resumes out, and they're going and searching. And so, being your own entrepreneur allows you to build your own business. Does your business work for you? Even if you own a business, does your business work for you, or do you work for it? A lot of people own Main Street rent. They have a lot of overhead, and with the economy shifting as well, they have to continue. If you're on Main Street in Santa Monica, that's $5,000 to $10,000 a month. So you've got to be generating income. And you're starting to see a lot of for rent places on Main Street. The economy is shifting, and it's shifting into, a green economy. Take any group. This was very interesting. My wife pulled this off the Social Security Administration's website. Take any group of 100 people at the start of their working career and follow them for 40 years until they reach retirement age. Here's what you'll find according to the Social Security Administration. Only 1 will be wealthy. 4 will be financially secure. 5 will continue working not because they want to, but because they have to. 36 will be dead, and 54 will be dead broke. Right? This is just a statistic. I'm not the bringer of bad news. This is just simply a statistic. And, we want to ask ourselves, who do we want to be? They'll be dead broke, dependent on meager Social Security checks, relatives, friends, and even charity for a minimum standard of living. My grandmother was afraid of this, and my mother is actually in this position right now. And so, I'm working to do diligence so I can take care of everyone in my family. So 5% successful, 95% unsuccessful. Who do you want to be? Why become a green entrepreneur? Help save the planet. Everybody knows where we're at on the planet. Fulfilling your purpose in life. Oh my God, if I had known this, or if I was taught this in school, it's becoming the consciousness, but it's like, purpose in life is so important. It's such a spiritual concept. And so, contributing to making the world a better place, clean air, water, soil, and peace on earth. We all talk about it. How do we get there? How do we create that? That's going to come from inside. Of course, there's petrochemicals, there's herbicides, pesticides, insecticides, things that are getting into the waterways. The indigenous people have been talking about this for the longest time. You've got an oil rig in the Gulf of Mexico burning on fire, and they're subsidizing GMO'd corn like it's, candy for who knows what. And so the fact of the matter is we've got to start thinking. We've got to take control of our own destiny as human beings. We are the people that we've been waiting for, right? We, yes, us, not anyone else that we may have voted for. And so, because peace on earth is a reality, I believe in that. And clean air, water, and soil is truly what our birthright is, and the only thing that is truly relevant. Because God created this planet, you take a seed, you put it in the ground, and food is free. Right? We need to get back to the nature aspects of life.